Good evening.
Elections have consequences.
Already
You don't know it's on the
begun.
ballot. Why is it on the ballot?
Because
Why is
you
it on the
said
ballot? It's not on the ballot.
it's on the ballot in the
I
court.
don't think so.
In the court.
There's nothing happening there.
Overturn Obamacare, to end Obamacare. You have spent the last...
Because they want to give good health care.
If I may ask my question.
Mandate, which was a
That
big
is not a
chunk of Obama.
comprehensive
That
plan.
is absolutely a big thing. That was
Say to
the
him,
worst
not
part of
me.
Obama.
Let me ask my question.
Well, I'll ask Joe. The individual mandate was the most unpopular aspect of Obamacare. I got rid of it.
I'd like
and
you
we
to-
will protect
Mr.
people.
President,
with
I'm the
pre-existing
moderator of this debate, and I would like you to let me ask my question, and then you can answer.
Go ahead. The things that we've done,
He has not cut
insulin. I
healthcare.
give you an example. Insulin. It is destroying families, destroying people because I'm getting it for so cheap. It's like water.
Number one.
Joe, you
Number
agree
two.
with Bernie
Number-
Sanders,
I-
who's
I
far
did-
left, on the manifesto,
Well,
we
you-
call it.
well,
And that gives
manifesto-
you socialized medicine.
Look, hey,
Are you
I'm
saying
not
you
going to
didn't
listen
agree?
to him. The fact of the matter is, I beat Bernie Sanders.
Not by much.
I beat him a whole hell of a lot. I'm
Not by
here
much.
standing facing you, old buddy.
Pocahontas would have left
Well,
2 days
I tell
early.
you,
You would have lost every prize.
All he knows how to
on
do
Super
is hurt.
Tuesday. You got
Look,
very lucky.
here's the deal. Everybody knows he's a liar.
But you
I just
agree-
want to
Wait,
make
wait,
sure.
Joe, you're the liar.
I want to make sure.
Graduated last in your class,
I,
not first in
I want to make
Mr.
sure.
President, can you let him finish?
He doesn't know how to do that. He has, you know, you pick the wrong guy, the wrong night at the wrong time.
Listen, you agreed with
Here's the
Bernie
deal.
Sanders to the
The
manifesto.
whole idea.
Let him...
There is no manifesto. Number
Please let
one.
him speak, Mr.
Number two.
You just lost the left. He was on a plan.
Folks,
Absolutely.
folks, do you have any
Under that
idea
plan
what
of
this clown's
socializing
doing?
vote.
Vote
You're gonna
now.
pack the
Make
court?
sure you, in fact, let people know
He doesn't want
you're
to answer the
senator.
question.
I'm not going to answer the question
Why
because
wouldn't you answer that
because
question?
the question is the
radical
question.
left.
Will you
Who is
shut
your
up, man?
listen,
We have ended this segment. We're going to move on to the second segment.
That was really a productive segment, wasn't it? Keep yapping, man.
The people understand you.
This is the same man.
It's
who
all
told
set
you
up.
By Easter, this would be gone away. By the warm weather, it'd be gone. Miraculous, like a miracle. By the way, maybe you could inject some bleach in your arm. That would take care of it. But people die. And a lot more are going to die unless he gets a lot smarter, a lot quicker.
Mr. President.
You used the word smart. So you said you went to Delaware State, but you forgot the name of your college. You didn't go to Delaware State. You graduated either the lowest or almost the lowest in your class. Don't ever use the word smart with me.
Question of reopenings and the
Well,
fact...
he wants to shut down this country, and I want to keep it open. And we
You
did
get-
a great
he
thing
just
by
admitted
shutting
he
it
shut
down.
it down.
Wait a minute, Joe. Let me shut you down for a second, Joe, just for 1 second.
The
Masks are
efficacy of
okay.
a
You have to
mask?
understand, if you look, I mean, I have a mask right here. I put a mask on when I think I need it. Tonight, as an example, everybody's had a test, and you've had social distancing and all of the things that you have to, but I wear masks when needed. When needed, I wear masks.
Okay, let me ask.
I don't wear masks like him. Every time you see him, he's got a mask. He could be speaking 200 feet away from me, and he shows up with the biggest mask I've ever seen. The one that brought back football. By the way, I brought back Big Ten football. It was me, and I'm very happy to do it.
I understand all of that.
Release your
I
tax
understand
return.
all of that.
But let me-
No, Mr. President,
Go ahead.
I'm asking you a question. Will you tell us how much you paid in federal income taxes in 2016 and 2017?
Millions of dollars.
You paid millions of dollars?
Millions of dollars.
So
yes.
not 750?
Millions of dollars, and you'll get to see it. And you'll get to
When?
see it. But let me just
Shalom?
tell you, Chris, let me just tell you something. That it was the tax laws. I don't want to pay tax.
People out there need help.
But why didn't you do it over the last 25 years?
Because you
Why
weren't
did
president.
you do it over
Because
the
you
last
weren't
20
president screwing
No.
things up.
You were a senator. And
You're
by
the
way,
worst
you were a
president
vice-
America has ever had.
It was the slowest recovery. Also, they took over something that was down here. All you had to do is turn on the lights when you pick up a lot.
Manufacturing went in a hole.
Excuse
number
me,
one.
Chris. Wait.
Number two.
Chris.
Number three.
They said it would take. No, you were number 2.
No,
Chris.
he's done very little. His trade deals are the same way. He talks about these great trade deals. You know, he talks about the art of the deal. China's perfected the art of the steal.
And also,
Simply
while we're
not
at it,
true.
why is it, just out of curiosity, the mayor of Moscow's wife gave your son $3.5 million.
That's
What
not
did he
true.
do to deserve it?
That
What
is
did he do with Burisma
none
to
of that
deserve $183,000?
None
You've
of
asked
that
the question,
is true.
let him answer it. If-
None of that is true.
Oh, really?
It's
He didn't
totally,
get
But no,
$3.5
hey,
million?
Mr. President,
It's
Mr.
totally-
President, please.
totally
ask the question.
discredited. Totally discredited. And by the way,
Well, wait, he
that's
didn't
our-
get
No, no.
$3.5 million, Joe?
Mr. Vice,
He got
Mr.
$3.5 million.
President,
that is not true.
Really?
Mr.
Oh,
President,
but-
it's an open discussion, please.
Now,
it's a fact.
Well,
There
you
is
have
not.
raised an issue. Let the Vice
Totally
President answer.
Discredited.
Did
There was a
Burisma pay him
report.
$183,000 a
a-
month with no experience in energy?
Mr.
Look,
President,
no
my
job.
son did nothing wrong at Burisma.
I think he did.
and
Mr.
the only
President,
guy that
let
did
him answer.
something- He doesn't want to let me answer because he knows I have the truth. His position has been totally, thoroughly discredited.
By who?
and
The
regretted.
media.
By everybody. Well, by the
By the
media,
media.
by our
Because they refuse
allies,
to
by
talk
the
about it
World
because
Bank,
of the
by...
fabric.
That's what we're talking about.
you
here.
should-
All right,
Not
that's the end
about
of the,
here.
that's the end of the
Shouldn't
segment.
take it.
We're moving on.
He didn't take that.
Vice President, no.
Can I be honest? It's a very important
Try to be
question.
honest.
No, I
He stood
get
up.
it. No,
He stood up,
the answer to
and
the
he
question is no.
threatened Ukraine
No, sir.
with $1 billion if you
That
don't get rid
is
of the-
You know what?
absolutely
Wait,
not
stop.
true.
Tape doing it.
You're going to
Not
have
true.
Gentlemen, I hate to raise
Chris,
my voice, but
he's
I
on
think it seems to
tape.
be, why should I be different than the two of you? So here's the deal. Options. I'm appealing to you, sir, to do.
Well, and him too.
Well, frankly, you've been doing more interrupting
Well, that's
than
all
he
right,
has.
but he does plenty.
Well, less than, sir, less
There's
than,
plenty.
no, less than you have. Let's please continue on.
Peaceful protest is. Violence is never appropriate.
All right.
What is peaceful protest? When they run through the middle of the town
President Trump-
and burn down your
President Trump,
stores and kill people all
President
over
Trump,
the place,
that
and you
is
say
not
peaceful
peaceful.
protest?
President
no,
Trump,
it's
I'm not
not, but
asking-
you say it is.
President
not
Trump, I'd
say-
like to continue with the issue of race. I promise we're going to get to the issue of law and order in a moment. What is radical?
And he would know.
What is
Oh, he's
radical
totally
about
racist.
racial sensitivity training?
If you were a certain person, you had no status in life. It was sort of a reversal. And if you look at the people, we were paying people hundreds of thousands of dollars to teach very bad ideas and frankly very sick ideas. And really, they were teaching people to hate our country. And I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to allow that to happen. We have to go back to the core values of this country. They were teaching people that our country is a horrible place, it's a racist place, and they were teaching people to hate our country. And I'm not going to allow that to happen.
Vice President Biden?
Nobody's done that. He's racist.
Frankly, it was more violent than what I'm even seeing now.
my
But the reason
This
is
is
that the Democrats that run these
Absolutely
cities
ridiculous.
don't want to talk like you about law and order.
Violent
And you still
crime.
haven't mentioned.
Violent
Are you in
crime.
favor of law and order?
I'm in favor of law. You follow
Are you
it
in
and a little
favor
bit
of
of
law and order? Go
Yes, I'm
ahead,
in
say it.
favor.
You asked a
Everybody's in
question,
favor
let him
of
finish.
Law and order.
This is
Law and order.
Let him.
Law and order with justice, where people get treated fairly. And the fact of the matter is, violent crime went down 17%, 15% in our administration.
All right.
It's gone up on his watch.
Went down
He,
much more
he
than
had.
ours.
All right, we're
He
now.
is president of the
Mr. President,
United
you're going
States
to.
of America.
China, if he ever got to run this country and they ran it the way he would want to run it, we would have
We would
our
run it
suburbs
the
would
way-
be gone. By the way,
Suburbs.
our suburbs would be gone, and you would see problems like you've
He
never
wouldn't
seen.
know a
Right.
suburb unless he took a wrong turn.
Oh, I know suburbs.
He would not.
So much
I was
better.
Wait,
raised.
go ahead,
I was,
wait a minute.
I was
So much.
raised in the suburbs. This is not 1950. All these dog whistles on racism don't work anymore, and so we have to be engaged.
That's not what
in
they're
service.
talking about,
That-
Chris. That's not what
that-
they're talking about.
that's
He's talking
exactly-
about defunding the police.
That is not true.
He doesn't have any law
Would you
support.
look?
He has no law enforcement
That's not
support.
true.
Almost
That's
nothing.
not. That, look,
Oh, really? Who do you have? Name one group that supports you. Name one group that came out and supported you. Go
Look,
ahead.
look.
Think. We have time.
we don't have time to do
No, no,
anything.
think
All right.
about it.
Look,
Name
folks,
one law
folks,
enforcement group that came out and
I think,
supported
gentlemen,
you.
I think I'm going to take back the
There
moderator's
aren't. I don't
role,
think there
and
are any.
I want to get to another subject.
can in fact take care of it if we just stay out of the way. Look here.
Oh, really?
Here,
Oh, really?
here's the
But
thing.
I
let's-
sent
sir,
in
no,
the
wait, I
U.S.
asked him a
Marshals
question.
to get the killer
No,
of the young man in the middle of the street. They shot him, and for 3
Mr.
days,
President Trump,
Portland
President
wouldn't do
Trump,
anything. I
please
had to
interrupt
send in
him.
the U.S. Marshals, and
President
they took
Trump,
care of business.
Go ahead. You have repeatedly
I
criticized.
have to answer his
No,
statement.
you have
Your statement?
repeatedly.
Wait,
You have
just
repeated.
one
No,
second.
you've been talking
You
back
made
and
a
forth.
statement.
I'm asking you.
I would
no,
love to
you know,
end it.
sir.
I would love to end it, and
You
we
know, if
would
you want to
very-
switch seats,
We would very quickly.
We can do that, but
I'd
I'm
send
no,
in
I'm-
the National Guard. It would be over. There'd be no problem.
Okay, but are you willing tonight to condemn white supremacists and militia groups and to say that they need to stand down and not add to the violence in a number of these cities, as we saw in Kenosha and as we've seen in Portland?
Sure,
Are you
I'm willing
prepared to
do that,
specifically
but
do it? Well, go ahead, sir.
I would say almost everything I see is from the left wing, not from the right wing.
So what are you saying?
I'm willing to do anything. I want to see
Well,
peace.
then do it, sir.
Say it. Do it. Say it. You want to call him? What do you want to call him? Give me a name. Give me a
White
name. Go ahead.
supremacists and
Who would
right
you like me to condemn?
white supremacists and right
Proud
militia.
Boys, stand back and stand by. But I'll tell you what. Somebody's got to do something about Antifa and the left, because this is not a right-wing problem. This is a left-wing.
FBI director
This
said,
is a left-wing
"Threat
problem.
of white
Go ahead, sir.
supremacists. Antifa's an idea, not an organization.
Oh, you got it.
Not
Yeah.
militia. That's what his
It's an idea.
His
Okay.
FBI director
Gentlemen,
said.
Well, then you know what?
No,
He's
we're
wrong.
done. We're done, sir. We're
Everybody-
moving on to the next.
everybody
We're
who
moving.
gives
When a bat
advice
hits
in
you
your
over the head, that's
administration,
not an idea.
Everybody in
Antifa
your
is
administration tells you the truth has a bad idea.
Can I tell you what?
You have no ideas. that
Antifa is a dangerous
All right,
radical
gentlemen, we're
group.
now moving on to the Trump and
you ought to be
Biden
careful
records.
with them. They'll overthrow you.
When a president, I'm going to ask a question.
He got the Conspicuous Service Medal. He was not a loser. He was a patriot, and the people left behind there were heroes. And I resent.
Are you talking
like
about Hunter?
hell.
Are you talking about
I'm
Hunter?
talking about my son, Bo Biden. You're
I
talking
don't know.
about.
I don't know, Bo. I know Hunter.
Yeah,
Hunter
you know
got
Bo.
thrown. Hunter got thrown out of the military. He was thrown out, dishonorably discharged.
That's not true. He
For
wasn't dishonorably.
cocaine use, and he didn't have a job until you became vice president. And once you
None of
became
that
vice
is
president,
true.
he made a fortune in Ukraine, in China, in Moscow,
That is simply
and various
not
other places.
true.
He
My
made
son,
a fortune.
my son,
and he didn't have a job.
my son, like a lot of people we know at home, had a drug problem. He's overtaken it. He's fixed it. He's worked on it, and I'm proud of him.
But why was
proud
he
of
given
my
tens
son?
of millions
All right.
But he wasn't given
All right.
tens of millions of dollars. That is totally,
President Trump, President Trump,
discredited.
we've already been
Totally discredited.
We've already been through this. I think the American people would rather hear about more substantial
So do I.
subjects. Well, you know, as the moderator, sir, I'm going to make a judgment call here.
It's $3.5 million
right.
from the
Let's
mayor
talk
of
about-
Moscow.
let's talk
That is
about-
not
I think
true.
it's a gentleman-
That report is totally
Why did he
discredited.
quit?
I
Mitt
think,
Romney on that committee said it wasn't worth taxpayers'
Just-
money. That report it was written for political reasons.
you know,
Every year, I get the call. California's burning. California's burning.
Here's the
talking
deal.
about the Green New Deal, and it's not $2 billion
I'm-
or $20 billion, as you said. It's $100 trillion.
I'm talking about
where they want to rip
Biden.
down
Let me go for a
buildings
minute, then go.
and rebuild the building.
No,
It's the
that is
dumbest,
not-
most
that
ridiculous.
is not-
Where airplanes are out of business,
That's it.
where two-car systems are out, where they
Not
want to
true.
take out the cows too.
Not
That's
true.
not true either, right? So why didn't you get the world? China sends up real dirt into the air. Russia does, India does, they all do.
That is not
20
my
billion.
plan.
That's
Green
well,
New
you want to
Deal
rebuild every
is not
building.
my plan.
You want to
All right,
rebuild
all right.
every
If he knew
you have to-
anything
wait a
about,
minute, wait.
if he knew
Gentlemen,
He
anything
made a
about,
statement
Gentlemen.
about the military. He said I said something about the military. He and his friends made it up, and then they went with it. I never said it.
Okay.
That is
What
not
he
true.
did
Sir,
is he
you're done in
said
this segment.
he called
Mr.
the
Vice-
military
Mr. Vice President,
stupid bastards.
I
He
did
said
not
it on
say
tape.
that.
He said
Mr.
stupid
Please,
bastards. He
not
said
sir,
it.
stop.
I would never
I
say
would
that.
Play
Stop.
it. Play it.
Go ahead. Mr.
on
Vice
tape.
President answered his final question.
The final question is, I can't remember which of all his rants.
I'm having a little trouble myself.
Pardon me?
Do you support that?
No, I don't support the Green
Oh,
New
you
Deal.
don't? Oh, well, that's a
You're
big
not-
statement.
I support the
You
Biden.
just the radical left. Done.
I support
Oh,
the
you're
Biden plan.
In Philadelphia, they went in to watch. They're called poll watchers, a very safe, very nice thing. They were thrown out. They weren't allowed to watch. You know why? Because bad things happen in Philadelphia. Bad things. They're being dumped in rivers. This is a horrible thing for our country.
There is no-
This is not.
there is no
This is
evidence
not
of
going to
that.
end well.